Hello, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or should I go here? Yeah, let's go here. Good morning, everybody. SJ, sorry about that, buddy. I think I accidentally banned him from our YouTube channel. Because it's a one-click. They don't give you like a... And I was answering him a question, and I think maybe
just a one-click ban?
Yeah, it's a one-click ban.
It's not even, are you sure?
No,
you
they
want
give
to
you
ban
nothing. No, they give you nothing. They give you nothing.
That is a quick ban.
Way too quick. Dano says, advertising with Tom and Dan works. How do you know, Dano? Is it working? I've never heard that. Have you heard that? I've never heard that. I've never heard that. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. I thought all advertising was a scam.
Yeah. I mean, all radio advertising is a scam. I still listen to the radio, and man, oh man. And they're doing Title Lock, Cash for Gold. I want to get some of that. Why can't we get Title Lock?
We can.
I want the Title Lock money. I didn't know that.
I don't know how to. Someone send me an email.
Did you know that illegals will steal your title online?
I knew that.
Yeah, I knew you knew that. But, I mean, we'd advertise it if our advertising worked, but it doesn't work. Fuck. Okay, Dano says, I work in a doctor's office and mentioned Jeff's bagel run to the doctor. Get your doctor to advertise with us. What's he do? What's he shooting? What kind of doctoring you doing over there? Is it one of the doctors we have? If it's not, we can advertise it. It doesn't work. Fuck. Yes?
No, I just thought of something I want to talk about.
Okay. Do you want to talk about... I can't talk about that yet. Can we talk about... We're going to talk about the bowling extravaganza?
Yeah.
Can I air my grievances with Bus Decker?
Yeah.
Okay. I almost wrote him back illegal. What he did was illegal. Not providing a handicap spot for a person that, like... Arguably, I sold out first.
You don't have a placard. You should have got...
No, but
Andrea said...
I think the business can do whatever they want. Because it's America. I think the bowling business, and that guy likes me. Oviedo, remember I saw him at the bag stuffing. He can just go, no, this isn't for handicapped anymore. This is for the man that sold out the fastest. This is for the best. This is for the smallest and best celebrity. That's what he could have said.
Yeah, because
it's
the
a right
business
to,
would
we're in
have
a right to work state. Write that down. We're in a right to work state, so you can take a handicap spot away and make it just a a spot for anyone.
That's a good question.
I don't think you can do that legally.
If you on your business's property, if you have a handicap parking,
you got to leave it. I don't think that's been mandated by you. I think that's been mandated by the government.
Yeah. You have to have, a wheelchair ramp, a handicap parking. But what I'm saying is, can a random tow truck driver just passing by see you have no placard and tow you from any business without the business themselves contacting them?
Or without
what's
them checking? Without them checking. That's a good question. I don't know.
But obviously, what's the chance? Tow truck drivers aren't just driving. And they'll go to kids. I know they used to do this at in the colleges. They'll go to colleges.
Yeah, they went to Andrea's apartment complex, and they just circled like sharks.
And then if you don't have but the actual apartment complex pays or lets them come in to do that, to control people parking without the plaque or the sticker or whatever. But anyway. I don't know the answer.
All right, buddy. Well, should we begin?
Sure.
Should we get into something? You like my new hat? Look at this. How do you like that?
It's
a fancy magic hat.
It's what is it, corduroy?
It's corduroy. It's premium corduroy. This is very limited.
Yeah.
This is an extremely expensive magic hat.
Yeah. It looks like odd.
What do you mean? Well, that's not the compliment I was going. Oh, you think, it's very expensive. It's a one of a kind man. It looks odd on you.
No, it's not odd.
Is this what you say to Crystal?
It's just a weird hat.
Say to Crystal when she's like, I bought this new dress at Dress Barn, and she walks out, and you're like, it looks odd on you. Must tell you, it's odd.
No, I just.
You have spinach in your teeth.
Do I?
Why are you eating early spinach? Or is that a barbell? Barball? What are those things called? Bearbells. We're a bear bell family here. That's what we eat, bear bells. Would you like to begin?
Oh, let me get this shit on my teeth.
It's just one little nug. It's like a little, let me see.
Still there?
Yeah, you tucked it into the tooth.
Just push it
That's
in.
what I do. I push them all in. So then it makes you look like you have really black spaces between your teeth. Everything bagel. You got everything bagel teeth. I'm just trying to bully you back for telling me I look odd. Hurt my feelings.
I didn't say you look odd. I said your hat looked odd because
hurt.
it's a corduroy and the shape of it is like a.
This is the style.
A corduroy weird shape hat?
Yeah, it's a corduroy weird shape.
I don't know if that's a style.
Would you like to begin?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube, and we'd love for you to come hang out. Come and watch our podcast. Just search for @Tom and Dan Live. Wherever you find your podcasts.
Speaking of hanging out, we have our BDM appreciation party this Saturday.
Yes.
It's in Sanford, but that's all I could tell you. If you're a BDM, you got the private invite. If you didn't, just email us. We'll tell you where it is. It's on the BDM page. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
ask another BDM, but you have to be a current BDM to be invited.
And they are coming out of the woodwork. I got one this morning that I'm not going to blow up their spot, but it's 2 names I probably haven't heard in, no exaggeration, 15 years that are still BDMs that are just like, we're here and we're coming at 2 old bikers. And they'll know who I'm talking about. And they were like, it's me and John. Bill and John are coming. They know who I'm talking about. And I'm like, all right, I haven't seen you guys. I didn't think you guys were still around, but glad to have you.
You know, it's interesting because just like everything, and this happens to me where like you start listening to a show, you fall, you haven't listened in a while, you're like, oh, I'll listen next week or whatever thing. You're busy.
Yeah.
Plus you're distracted by everything. There's a million things to consume and, whatever. So a lot of people sign up to become BDMs to support us, which I really appreciate.
We do really appreciate
because that is a gigantic part of our business is BDMs, subscriptions. So those monthly subscriptions literally help keep our business alive.
Absolutely.
Without them, we'd be really screwed.
Oh, we'd be seriously.
And a lot more commercials. It'd be everything I could possibly promote all the time.
And if you think you're getting infomercial segments now, and you don't think we know about them, you don't think we know about the infomercial segments, so you're going to email me and be like, Dan, like you better when you're not doing an infomercial. You don't think I feel it in my bones? You don't think I know when we've got a client in here and I'm just smoothing them good? You don't think I'd understand that? It's a business, god damn it, and we've been doing it independently for years now.
Yeah, but we work hard to make them funny.
Yes, that's why I was gonna get to that eventually. I was gonna get
but
to
it
that.
doesn't. Anyway, but that's part of it. It's all part of this small business that me and Daniel have been running for more than a decade.
Yes.
Which I'll talk about. Speaking of the BDM show, because that's on Mondays, and a lot of BDMs. Like I said, forget, not even forget. They know they're BDMs. They just haven't listened to the show in a while. And that happens,
Right.
Like
well, a lot of it is like, I mean, come on, man. We live in a time when consuming content is hard.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to listen. I'm a podcast lover. Like, nobody loves radio and podcasting more than, like, the 2 of us. And, I mean, I have a hard-ass time being able to sit down or have time to enjoy, any favorite show. So if you're choosing to listen to us, even if you're just choosing to give us, support money, and then you catch us occasionally, you are just as important.
But we do want you to show up at these parties because we want to shake your hand, thank you, and enjoy the night with some entertainment provided by us and our great sponsors. Yeah. And that's it, So if you want to come by this Saturday.
We put you on a list, though, for these parties.
Yeah.
And then the list will follow you around for life. And people will know, just to know that people will know that you went to the infamous Tom and Dan parties.
Well, speaking of parties, I want to thank everybody that I saw at the Dewitt Celebrity Bowling Tournament this past Saturday.
Yeah. Hold on. I got to give. Well, I can't give a Mo.
That's fine.
Got too much going on here.
He raised $25,000 for Rosie's Adventures. So thank you very much to Mo, John Bustecker, all the other local celebrities that showed up to donate their time, everybody who came and paid to bowl, all the sponsors, Todd Burney, his son Landon. That we had a little bet at the very beginning where he bowled. Loser had to pay $1,000 to charity.
I was proud of you for actually following through. I was proud of you for doing it.
Well, I was nervous.
You should have been nervous, but you did it. And I called that. People, because I know you bowl enough with your sons that when you left the spare and it was a pick it up, you have a very slow approach to your spares, and I've seen it a million times. And like I'm a detail guy, and I watch
Steady
you.
Eddie.
Yeah, you are Steady Eddie, and everybody. And I'm just gonna tell you this, and if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, but understand who had your back, okay? Because everybody around me was like, "Oh, look at his hand shaking! Look at him! He can, oh, look how stiff he is!" And I was like, "He'll get it." I was like, he bowls with his sons all the time. They're Castleberry hillbillies. They bowl. I go, this guy can pick up that. I go, that's all day easy. And that's the kind of stuff he'll sucker his boys into saying he can't do it. He'll get it every time, Steady Eddie. And you did. And I had your back. And everybody around me doubted you. Everyone
including
doubted.
Eric, who put up $500 extra to charity, which, by the way, if I didn't do it, everyone was like, boo.
I started that. I started a booing. Yeah.
So take that, Eric, from Shingles Masters Roofing.
Take that, Eric. It's Shingles Masters. This is what we do for you. If you're a client of ours, just rest assured that we take that, Shingles Masters. What? What Shingle Masters? It's Shingle Masters.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll okay.
You look like you have something you want to say.
Well, I
woke up this morning. Here, maybe this will make you feel better if you're about to say something that's going to make you look bad. I'll make you feel better.
Okay.
Woke up this morning, turned to my wife. She's been gone all weekend at a dance competition. Turned to her, kissed her passionately on the mouth, looked her in the eyes and said, "Happy anniversary. I love you." Not my anniversary. My anniversary is on the 17th. I always think it's the 14th. I thought I was going to nail it and was going to knock it out of the park. I forget my anniversary a lot. You make fun of me. You clown me for not caring about anything. I'm detached from everything, just floating through life, and got it wrong. Got it wrong again. Kissed her. Got a good kiss out of it. Got it wrong.
Well, that's a good tell for her that she's not getting anything for the actual anniversary.
We had already said we weren't doing anything for it, but I
was like, as long as you just remember.
Can't even do that. Couldn't do it.
So there's a lot of, like I said, Mo's been doing this for 2 years, and Bustecker does a great job putting it together. And
I have grievances, but I was gonna wait. I mean, I'm very, very angry. I am very, very angry.
Well, your team dressed you up like Barf from Spaceballs.
Yeah, I was Master Splinter, and they were the Ninja Turtles, but I did end up looking a little more like Barf from Spaceballs.
Yeah.
But we did win Best Dressed. So
I got your trophy from your team. Had the highest score overall because they're all crazy good bowlers.
My team,
I've never seen.
I can't even talk about what my team does. Like I can't even tell you because I was swore to secrecy. Like I got some. I had some ringers. I didn't even have to touch a ball. And April O'Neil on our team, by the way, she was looking great.
Strike after strike.
April O'Neil bowled a 168, I think.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And, anytime multiple people on your team are bowling over 200.
Why didn't you dress up? What was the theme for your team?
All right, well, I'll explain. First, I yelled, I don't want to dress up like nothing.
Okay.
And
I bought a walking stick, just so you know. Remember, if you'd heard this on a BDM show, you probably heard that at first I was a little miffed with Tim and his team because they originally wanted to be like Willy Wonka and I was going to be some
Oompa Loompa.
And look, man, I'm 48 years old. Since I've started working at Real Radio, every year I've been an Oompa Loompa. It stops this year. 2025, no more Loompas. I'm out. I'm out of Loompa.
You'll die a Loompa.
I'm not doing it.
Listen, I'll die. People trying to bet me money and clown me.
Drunky and the Loompa. No, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, well, no, we've already.
Do a Loompa.
Well, there's no way out of it. And
I'm not doing it anymore.
This is part of what I'm going to talk about today.
Not doing it anymore. I'm not.
You have to do it.
I'm not letting them eat cake anymore.
You have to do it.
No, I don't. I don't have to do it.
No one will stop. It doesn't even matter. You can tell them to stop. Nobody will stop.
Jack Bradshaw's there with his little sailor hat on and his long hair, looking like some sort of drunk Jimmy Buffett.
So I will say it's a lot of different, local celebrities, news people, radio people. Saw Savannah, the social media influencers.
Hung out with Savannah a little bit. Saw Angel. Saw Ross Padgett next to me. Love that guy.
I like how a couple social media influencers have more followers, like Savannah and OMG Swix.
OMG, it's Wick.
Oh, okay.
Is it Wick or Swix?
Anyway, have more followers than everybody together, including all the companies.
Was Swix there?
I don't know.
Is it Swick?
I never get
Wick. It's Wick, isn't it?
I never get a chance. Regardless, he got more followers than all.
It's Wicks. Wicks.
Every
Well, if he had a
news
regular
station-
name, why can't it be, oh my God, it's Todd? Like, why can't it be that? Why is it going to be Wicks?
Like, oh
Why do
my
you
God,
gotta-
it's
yeah,
Omar.
Yeah, like Mr. Beast. Why can't we just have his name as Jimmy? Like, why is it, oh my God, it's Wick?
But that's all.
Like, use a regular name and so no more numbers. And
Anyway.
God damn.
The point being is...
Oh, Wicks wasn't there this year.
I
He
don't
didn't
know.
even pay attention.
What's not that I don't pay
even
attention.
there.
I usually...
He wasn't even there.
I want to hang out with the people that bid on me, and then everybody around
I saw
me.
you hanging out with High Noon. That's what I saw you hanging out with. Who's that guy? Who's High Noon?
What do you mean high noon?
Mr. High Noon. You had a bucket of High Noon standing over there by yourself
yeah,
looking
yeah,
sad.
yeah. Well, yeah, I don't.
Why'd you look so sad?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't look sad. I'm
You look
drunk.
totally sad. I saw you on Bovada during the Rosie's Adventure video.
No. I was
saw
no,
him.
no, because Bus
He
Second tells
was
me
not.
he's like, you're doing this bowl off with Landon and $1,000.
Yeah, and then he's
I was like,
"And
what?
I'll get up there and wing it. I'm the best at improv.
Anyway,
By the way, I'll
back to
get to
clowning
I'll
us.
get to my grievance with Bus Decker
Okay,
at the
yeah.
end of this. Because I don't know whether to
Well, let's
cut
start-
ties. I
let-
want to cut ties with him.
let's start. You tell Busdecker this morning, you're like, hey, get me a parking space.
No. I did not say that. I would not say that. You know me well enough to know.
Oh, days before.
Who do I look like?
Yeah,
Who do I
right.
look like? Doc Holliday from XL 106.7? I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for things. I just show up and do what I'm told. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get my John Busdecker text so I can see exactly what I said. I text him, I said, hey, man, are you all good to go? This is me Saturday morning to help out if he needs anything, because I know how these things go. Sometimes you need an extra microphone. Sometimes you need a cable from Daniel's Cable Palace on the, Sometimes you need something. So I hit up Busdecker. I said, are you good for this afternoon? And this is at 10:30. He says, I am. We'll see you at 2. I can have a handicap spot reserved for you. That's Bus. That's what Bus said to me. I didn't say nothing.
You're looking at the wrong. He's bullying you.
No, I thought about that at first, too.
Oh,
Because my response is, I don't have a hanger tag, LOL. He said, don't worry about it. At the very least, I can have a spot close to the door for you. In all seriousness, if you have we'll have a proxy bowler for you. We can do that. I said, that's super kind of you, Bus. Yeah, I'm on a cane. My team are all great bowlers, but I am moving really slow. I'm being serious.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
being serious. Then he says, there will for sure be enough people there that I can find someone to bowl for you. We'll sort it out. I'll get you a parking space.
All right. Okay, so
He lied.
he's doing the
He's a liar.
he's doing the classic Tom Van.
Yeah, promise everything and never deliver. Yeah.
He
Promised a bunch of people that he was promising everybody the world.
Yeah. Because and then what happens is as the event day comes crashing down
And
onto
it does
your head,
crash. You can't stop it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it hurts because you've done this.
And
you
then
do this.
You realize over and over all the tiny details you forgot. So like this person's like, "Where's the popcorn?" You said, "Oh, you're like, oh God,
The popcorn. Dude, you're out in the parking lot popping it.
And they're like, Jim Franklin's up front asking where his
Where the
VIP passes
where
are.
the Franklin insurance card
Yeah,
and
yeah,
tent
yeah.
need to go. Oh,
Yeah,
no, we
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
Franklin
yeah.
insurance. I don't have a card for them.
Yeah. And then you're like, and then you start going over all the little things.
Pepe the Pomeranian's here in her little car. She wants to do photo ops at the front. What do
Yeah.
I tell everybody? Where do I start the line?
And then you get a text from your boss and Mo's like, he's like, hey, where are those streamers?
Me and my kids are here. Shine my boots, you POS.
Yeah. My son wants to play
Yeah.
Switch. You
Yeah.
should bring it for
Set
him.
up the Switch for my son. He wants to play. My son wants to play
yeah.
Splatoon.
The DJ's asking where to plug in because they have no outlets. So like all, and then you're
My
like, oh
son
God.
hates bowling alley pizza. Go up the
Yeah.
street to Papa John's and get him a pizza, you POS.
So all these promises that you made, those get pushed down the list. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You're like, oh, I hope
Well,
that.
honestly, it's against the law. I started looking up a handicap legal.
So you show up and
I'm-
what happens? Is there a space for you?
Okay, so I show up I show. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell it as it happened. I almost took photos, but I thought maybe you'd be like, because this is real talk. Sometimes Tom's like, hey, but Mo's a big sponsor. Why don't you ease off the Mustecker stuff? And I'm like, I can't ease off the Mustecker stuff. I'm so angry that it's. I can't. I don't know what to do. Now I have a conflict of interest.
But it has nothing to do with Mo. Mo is the greatest human I've ever met.
He's the best.
I mean, 25,000.
I would say it is
to Rosie's Adventures. I mean, that's on Mo's back. He paid for everything.
Yeah, you want to hear about my
and that's
adventure?
not after.
You want to hear about my adventure from 7 miles from the bowling alley?
Danny's Adventure.
Danny's Adventures, yeah.
Okay.
So when I pull in, I pull in, and the place is packed. And good on Mo and good on Bus for a successful event. I mean, I don't think it could have gone any more successful. And I will say that if you're looking to bowl or play pinball, the Oviedo bowling center, that place is rad.
Yeah.
There's just way too much to do in there. So I pull in. There's a guy standing there, and I'm like, oh, no. Because I already knew. Like, as soon as I pulled in and saw the guy, I'm like, oh, there's no way this is set up. No way. So I pull in, I put down the window. The guy's telling me to put down the window. I go to put down the window, and then the guy's like, hey. And I was like, hey, I'm on a cane, man. Is there anything up front? Like, did Bustecker say who? And I'm like, okay, yeah. No.
I love a good who.
Yeah, nobody knew. This is the perfect top. This is a top band. Because so I'm like, well, I'm on a cane. Is there anything close to the front? And he's like, I could put you in the handicap spot, but I'm not going to do that because you'll get towed. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't have a placard. He's like, yeah, we can't do that. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I can put you in the grass. So I turn into the grass. No exaggeration, I am the last spot at the very end near the forest and also near
Oviedo Forest?
Near Oviedo Forest and also near somebody's septic tank. And they're like, don't park on the septic tank. No, why? So I had to back up a little bit. And I mean, it might be, by the way.
This Tesla's heavy.
This goddamn Tesla's going to fall through the dumper. So, I did end up moving my car. And they're like, we hope we can get you out. Because it was in like a really muddy field. So, yeah, it was great. And then I had to walk. I'm doctored ordered 2,500 steps, and I blew that from the car to the door, carrying my entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume. So,
Another funny part that I've been getting a kick out of now, it's been like a little over a month since you had your hip surgery.
Yeah. It's how many times I have to explain what happened to
yes,
people? Yeah.
Because, and by the way, this is a warning for everybody that happens to be listening. When you ask Daniel, and here's the thing, I'm talking to no one that this pertains to because it shows me that they haven't listened to 1 minute of the show in the past 6 months, right? Because when you're like, oh my
good friends of mine, they're like, what happened?
Yeah, you're like, why are you on a cane? And then you're like, oh, well, that is a tell that you haven't listened to the show in 6 months because we've been talking about the pre-hip surgery.
Up to dumping shows in.
Yeah. I mean,
Dr. Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, we squeezed that washcloth.
Oh, we're still squeezing.
Yeah, we're wringing every drip out of Daniel's hip surgery.
Yeah.
When you're like, what happened to you? It's like, you haven't listened to the show 8 months.
But I will explain it to you. I'm not going to be mean. I will explain it to you.
What are you going to do? You should say you haven't listened to the show in a month.
That's what people did. Somebody did give me they got me with the trick. They tried to get me with the trick. Somebody, I will not name them, because you're really tamping down on me doxing people.
Oh.
But a guy turned to me and he's like, who am I? I got one of those. You don't remember my name. And I was like, wham, because I was so sober. I was like, boom, your name. Boom, where I know you from. Boom, the last time I talked to you. And he was like floored. Whoa.
At least he gave you a whoa.
I got a whoa.
I
did. He was impressed that I've
never hit one of those, so I don't know what the response is if you actually guess the name.
I mean, I think I got lucky, too. I think it was because I had to toot it a little bit. I gave it a little toot.
Yeah, the guy. Okay, back to clowning us.
Yeah, please.
So all the other celebrities, I see Angel, the radio guys, whatever.
All the people from the Monsters, Daisy Del Toro, you got Savannah.
Yeah, everybody.
Brian Grimes, I saw there. XL 106.7, arguably one of the biggest radio stars in this city.
Yeah. And guess what? None of their teams did. Clown them
Make
to
them,
their face.
make them dress like Barf from Spaceballs, right?
Yeah, or print T-shirts with me on them.
Yours was worse.
This is, in the font you would use when someone dies, and you put it on your lowrider.
It looks like a black memorial shirt for an old black grandma.
That just says Tom Van shaves his pubes.
Bix his pubes.
Oh, Bix his pubes.
Bix his pubes.
On
and
the
then
back
it says
of
on the back, it says big fast, big hard, big life or something.
Yeah. And then I was standing next to Jason Guy, a respectable news anchor.
Well, he bicks his pubes. I guarantee you Jason Guy bicks his pubes.
And then he has to look. He's like, oh, who you bowling with? Oh, you look. He's reading the shirts.
What's your shirt say there?
Because
you know that's how Jason Guy talks, because he's like really cool. He's like, hey, let me see that shirt you got there. Let me see what's Oh, you guys are just too silly. You guys are far out.
Yeah. They are talking about your pubes on their shirts. And they're like, where's Dad? He's dressed like Barf.
I was supposed to be Master Splinter, but it is a little more
the
Barf.
GD clowns of the town.
Clowns of the town.
And we're just have our listeners just bully. They live to bully us.
Clown of the town. I love Clown of the
Oompa
town.
Loompa and Drunky for life, and they'll never stop. Anyway.
Drunky and Dupa.
Everybody
Oompa
else
Loompa Doompa.
can dress whatever they want, and they shake the celebrity's hand.
Savannah looked cool. She's in like a cool jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And Brian Grimes looked normal. He's like tattoos
I'm saying
and jeans.
everybody gets respect.
Yeah.
And look at us. Goddamn clowns
a
of the town. Anyway, so in other news,
I am gonna have to get I'm gonna get Busticker back in some way. I gotta figure out a way to ruin one of his events.
You cannot ruin his event. Mo's events.
I'm gonna figure out something.
You have to get him back personally.
All right.
Outside of anything to do with Mo.
Okay, that's fair.
Because Mo is not his fault.
Yeah,
it's the Bustacker's fault.
Maybe Mo will help me get him back.
That you have a good chance.
Yeah,
of
I think there's a good chance of that because Mo likes fun.
Yeah, he does like fun.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just gonna hold that, and I'm not talking about. I'm gonna wait years. I'm gonna wait years. Do you understand?
It's got to be stressful. Running a law firm.
He bought me a beer on.
Can fly.
He bought me a beer, and we talked for a little bit, and the turnout was great, and obviously, he was super happy, and his family was there, and they were all awesome.
He never looked stressed out.
No, he does not.
How is that possible?
I think it's just the way you're wired. You got a little bit of it. Not as much as Mo, but you got some of it.
I'm stressed out right now for an event this Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because I'm like, for sure, I forgot.
Which bikini do I choose for the whip lady?
I forgot Daniel's handicap spot.
Are you going to get me one?
No, you have to park near my boat.
Oh, my God. All the way down near the forest again.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Anyway.
So I saw that the Blue Origin all-female space flight happened today with Katy Perry on it.
Yeah.
So now a couple things. I didn't realize that until they started doing these that there was obviously a huge difference between what Blue Origin's doing and SpaceX and the fact that SpaceX is launching into orbit and Blue Origin and then the other one, I forgot the other one name, not Bezos has Blue Origin, Elon with SpaceX.
Are you talking about Richard Branson's?
And Branson's.
I thought Branson's was the one that was the most plane-like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think he's doing similar to Blue Origin, where you're not going into orbit. You're just launching a capsule past this, basically this zone called the Carmine Line or something like that.
Carmine Line, that's what they called it?
I might be getting that wrong. Anyway, that's
Virgin Space or something like that. Somebody's saying in the chat room.
Yeah, it's the stratosphere where they internationally they determine okay, this is technically space, but you're not in orbit.
Yeah.
To get into orbit is a whole different thing, because then you're coming back into orbit. And it's way more complicated. To launch you into this technical space is a lot easier because then
it seems like a bit of a purgatory, right? You're going to an area that's sort of spacey, but not space.
But you're going up and down. You're not sticking anywhere. Right. So essentially you're throwing a rock straight up as far as you can, and then it falls for 11 minutes, and then you float. You look down at the globe. So you're kind of in space, but you're technically still in the Earth's orbit.
See, I don't count it. You gotta be like what the astronauts were. You gotta be there, and then have for me to count it, you gotta go there, park your car, turn off the engine.
yeah. And
one Mississippi, turn the car back on and come back down. That's space. If you're just going up and falling back down, that's a nothing.
And there's no piloting. And
no.
And so anyway, you read the story and it's all over the media because Katy Perry's on there, right? And essentially, it's just a capsule.
She on that Ozempic, right?
And I
making
don't know.
those things sag. God, it's making them sag, right?
And
you need a little bit of that baby fat on there to keep them like she's looking a little melted. She's looking a little melted.
They have plastic.
I saw the photo this morning.
Them.
I think I'd go Gayle King over Katie.
And so they in the story, it's like this was the first all-female space flight since 1963.
Yeah.
And so I looked at that and I was like, wait a minute. 1963? I was like, there was an all-female space flight in 1963. I'm like,
Admiral Betty Crocker took it to the moon.
And before I looked it up, I'm like, that's way. It's insane to me.
There's no way that was U.S., right?
No, it was Russia. So there was another, and by the way, it was a solo space flight by Russian cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova, or whatever.
Just some Russian lady. Yeah.
So Valentina was a solo Russian cosmonaut that launched into orbit. By the way, it wasn't just one of these throw a rock up and then down. And she went into orbit, and I think she went around the Earth X amount of times, and then she came back, and it was the first only female flight. And this was the next one today. It literally happened today. And so then you look back at 1963, and what this Russian lady did. I mean, any of the astronauts, obviously, men are.
She was a textile worker and an amateur skydiver. She joined the Air Force as part of the Cosmonaut Corps and was commissioned as an officer after completing her training. After the dissolution of the first group in 1969, she remained in the space program, but they hid. Apparently, Russia didn't want anybody knowing about this, so the existence of the all-female program itself was completely classified, and they just buried it for decades. They didn't want anybody knowing about it.
What was even? I deep dove a little further, and I was like, what? I'm like, what? It was Russia less sexist than the United States in 1963? Like, you wouldn't think so.
You just didn't know they were women, right?
No,
I'm joking.
Well, it is the communism thing. They were like, everybody's equal no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that.
And so it was more of propaganda that, like, look, we treat everybody.
It was also something we weren't doing at the time, too, right?
Yeah, well, in the 1960s, dude, my mother-in-law told me that she wasn't even allowed to get a credit card in the 70s without her husband signing off on it. You're like, that, you know, my mother-in-law went through that in the 70s when she was a young woman.
Here's a fact from Reddit says that she was forced to tour many countries with the KGB and forced to marry another astronaut in basically a Soviet celebrity wedding, with Khrushchev as the officiant and propaganda touting it as the, quote, fairy tale cosmonaut wedding. But they hated each other and divorced once they were able to do so, and speculation was that it was likely an arranged marriage. They had a daughter. They were forced to do a ton of medical tests on the first child of two cosmonauts. They were, like, pairing these two astronauts to hopefully make, like, a super cosmonaut baby.
Yeah, it's all propaganda.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, but here I was insulted for this lady because the news literally, like they described, this is the first female space flight since 1963. And this is not the same thing at all. Completely different.
Not even close.
And to even compare them is an insult to this Russian lady that in 1963 flew into orbit, like orbited the Earth multiple times, then was able to
Chat room
land.
said 47 orbits, 48 orbits.
Yeah, 48 times around the
48
Earth.
Orbits in 2 days, SJ is saying. Yeah.
And then came back, and I looked up the technology in 1963. Like, obviously, we all know. But in 1963, they said, like, oh, the first push-button phone came out. Like, that's where we were at in the United States. Like, they changed from rotary to push-button.
Yeah.
And this is the same year this Russian lady flew into orbit and they went around the globe 48 times, then landed back. And so the news media is doing a disservice to the science by even comparing this.
Well, the
like
other story
one
is
flight
so
with
much
the other.
better. Like,
of course.
Here's another fact that for you nerds out there. So, like, most of our phone pictures, and you had me look this up earlier.
Oh yeah.
So like like a regular phone picture is going to be about like 5 megabytes. The actual program that was used to get this lady into space was less than a kilobyte. So think about that. Like the entire piece of science that was used to get her 48 orbits was less than a kilobyte, whereas a photo of your penis that's on your phone right now is 5 megabytes.
Yeah.
A photo of your child smushing a piece of birthday cake in your grandma's face, that picture is infinitely larger and more sophisticated than what she was using to go 48 times around in orbit.
And so this is not
kind of gross, and it also is terrifying. When you say things like that to me, it's terrifying. Like, how did it even work? How did they figure out that it was going to work?
But also, I would like to know, is there anything that the people in the capsule are doing at all? Because it all seems like
they're just
all
sitting
tourists
and waiting to die is what they're doing.
Well, they're just getting in the capsule.
Oh, you
everything,
mean Blue Origin?
Blue Origin, yeah, no. But, this cosmonaut was literally toggling switches. Like,
yeah, she was trained.
Like, she's pushing, like, a full-on buttons with, there may have been a blue screen or some
I don't think there was. I don't think they had, I don't think in the 60s they had
any
maybe
screens.
a tiny little flashing little green blips, but I don't think there was anything telling you like, hey, the mission's going great.
So with this flight that happened today, it's just all tourists. They get into a capsule and the company shoots them up, and then that's it.
This is no different than the submarine that had a catastrophe 2 weeks ago in like Dubai, right?
But
I feel like this is just like you sit in the chair, they shoot you up, you come back down.
No, but but there's in that submarine there's an actual captain that's driving it.
Gotcha.
And but I'm saying there's no one driving this thing. I mean, I guess the computer that handles the rocket, but there's no one inside the capsule does anything that of any significance to aid this trip at all.
Okay, the chat room says here that she was constantly battling the idea that the duration of space flight she did nothing, because when asked questions she seemed more like a guinea pig because she was insufficiently competent to figure out the control. They're saying here that they literally just took her. She was a tough peasant woman. They liked her. They liked her dedication to the government.
Like the dog.
She was chosen because she was an intense Russian, like meaning she was down for the crown. Like she was all in on the current government.
Did she have to do anything?
No. They're saying here that she just sat there. They would ask her questions about it and everything. She also ruined all of their experiments because as soon as she made it down, as soon as they got her down, they were supposed to have a holding period and then test her body because she had done those 48 orbits. She immediately started gorging herself on like peasant food that had been brought to her from the other peasants. And she was like gorging herself on goulash and big bread buns and stuff.
So
no.
She didn't do anything either.
In fact,
she had to. I mean, in the 60s, you had to at least hit some toggle switches or something. Like
I think
they couldn't have done
they were
remotely.
toggling it for her. I think they was toggling for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, then why haven't why can't Blue Origin just launch someone into orbit and let them come back down? Like, let them spend some time up there instead of 11 minutes. Maybe just easier this way. I don't know.
I mean, I guess they didn't build enough. I mean, like, or maybe maybe it whacks you out or something. What if it makes you crazy?
Still, though, way more impressive than today's Katy Perry and Space Tours. What they're doing, like, just in the fact of what was available in 1963 is insane. Do we still have
that capsule at the Orlando Regional History Center?
Yeah.
There's a space capsule there that if you want to scare yourself, you can go sit in it and see the crude switches and how tiny it is.
In the Smithsonian, they have like the original, the actual.
I sat in that as a
first
kid.
man in space, and now they don't let you even touch it. It's behind glass, but just when you look at it, you're like, oh my God. Like, it is insane that someone was launched into space. It doesn't even resemble anything that we have nowadays. It's such a old, antiquated, everything about it. The steel looks old. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything about it looks like a joke that someone would make a movie prop out. It's like, I can't believe someone really did this.
Another thing that I think is so strange to me is the lack of thickness, right? Because we think about like space, and then again, maybe I'm just like a little bit like scarred from that Ocean Gate deal, when we had the submarine that imploded. But you look at these vehicles and you're like, that's thick enough to protect you from, quote, what space is? Well, okay, sure, I'll go with it.
Well, a lot of people are saying like the ocean is way more dangerous than space as far as the, obviously the amount of pressure on the ocean. Like space is constant, the vacuum of space, so you don't need that much reinforcement to protect yourself against a vacuum. There's it's more, not that much pressure.
There's another account of this particular cosmonaut, not to throw more fuel on the fire, but here's another one. It says, because the rest of the world wasn't anticipating female astronauts or cosmonauts, they crash landed in the U.S. or somewhere else in the world and got to shelter. They could find cover pretty easily. It says that after her first mission, it was a complete failure. She freaked out after lunch and was mostly dead weight until they brought her back home. People in charge of the Soviet space program vetoed putting women into rockets for a long time after that. So they this guy's saying that she didn't even do anything, that she just sat in the chair and then they just blasted her into space. She freaked out and then they got her back down.
Yeah. Well, that's
which is totally okay with me.
That's what they did with the first dog and monkeys and stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do anything. They just wanted to see is this dog gonna blow up?
Now, has anybody? See, this is a question I would have for the Blue Origin, like Gayle King, Katy Perry, these people that were on the. They've done this how many times? Has anybody even mildly freaked out? You get people that freak out when they're on a trolley. You get people that freak out when they're on a ride at Disney World. You mean to tell me that?
Yeah, but they trained before. They all did the Vomit Comet plane to experience weightlessness, and then they went through simulations. You know what I'm saying? It's this astronaut back in the 60s, or cosmonaut, they didn't have any way to simulate this. So it was there was no experience they could put her through that even emulated what she was about to go through. So no wonder she freaked out. You're in simulators. You've been weightless multiple times on airplanes. You know what I'm saying? So you already felt what it's like.
Yeah, you're kind of there.
And then it's and so it's by the time you actually do it, you're okay. Besides from looking at Earth, all these other feelings I've already felt. The G's of being rocketed. They probably got on some sort of fighter jet, or
go to Hulk coaster. You're fine.
The spinning, the thing that spins you at a certain amount of G's.
Yeah, the space camp thing.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That it simulates G forces. So you basically know. So okay, last story.
Yeah.
The Coachella. There was some sort of audio problems with Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm how in such a big stage like that do audio problems come up? It's just random.
Okay, so
fuses blow or something.
My answer to you would be because it's so big. I think that's the problem.
And there's so many moving parts that one fuse or one thing happens, circuit.
And there's so many different people depending on. Also, maybe it's power in the middle of nowhere, right? If you do this downtown New York City, you're fine. But when you do this in the middle of I don't even know what Coachella is, but I don't think it's. Right.
They put together this gigantic festival city.
Right.
What they've been doing it for a good amount of years, so you think
just build it permanently.
They got it down to, but I guess things still happen, and it's just you think there would be tons of redundancy systems. We have to talk to Jackal about it.
We should get him to call in.
He's a sound guy.
I also saw that there was a rumor that we're gonna get a Nirvana. Did we get a Nirvana? Reunion, I guess.
And I saw that. Yeah.
And then I'm
Dave
just
Grohl,
please don't do that. Don't do that. Because you can't do a Nirvana reunion, and I don't want old what's her name singing Frances Bean or no, just it's.
They were gonna have her sing.
I think so.
They're going the Sublime route.
Yeah. I think it's okay just to not have a reunion. I think it's okay to do that.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Nothing. You might as well do something.
I think it's okay to do nothing.
Do something. It's.
What if it's bad?
Then that's it. But at least there's something you're let's see what
and did you see this guy? I pulled up this video. Look at this guy. This is one of the newer David, I guess this guy's name is. D4VD, I think is how you.
Is he a DJ or?
He's a singer boy. And this is from X. This is him dancing. And he's dancing in the crowd. Look at him go for this Oh, boom, right on your head.
No, he tried to run up the wall backflip and landed on his head.
And he's known for, like, he's one of these guys that, like, he instead of just being an entertainer, he's a parkour boy.
I've seen this guy on TikTok.
Yeah. He's dumb. This is stupid. And I'm glad you hit your head, and maybe that'll get you to stop doing what you're doing, because you're not good, your music sucks, and your parkour sucks. I can see...
That's his gimmick.
I can see he was stupid, though. I hate this guy. I hate parkour, like, good-looking... parkour punk rock black guy. I do not like this guy. He's
That's
dumb.
his only gimmick.
Yeah, here, let's watch it one more time because it's just fun to watch people get hurt. There he goes. Oh, boom. Oh. Keep doing that. Keep doing it.
How much time do we have left? Because I have one more thing to tell you.
You got enough time.
Okay, so real quick.
You got plenty of time. It's your show, buddy.
Rory McIlroy won the Masters this weekend.
It's his first time. Yeah, him and Justin Rose were kind of going back and forth on it, right?
But yeah, and he won he did a Grand Slam, which is all the majors, right?
Yeah, the U.S. Open, the Masters, the British Open, and the Championship.
Which puts him in an elite group of all the golfers.
There's only 6 people that have done that.
So it's a gigantic accomplishment, which obviously I think he's talked about wanting to achieve, So to achieve something that only 6 or 7 people have ever done in the sport that you love is got to be an obsession, right?
It definitely solidifies him as like one of the great greats.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. Insanely hard to do. And it's,
after a slide too, to come back.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not to say that he's not throwing any shade. He's an amazing golfer, but like now coming back and doing it again.
So this is what I'm fascinated about. So you obviously have been obsessed with this your entire life. This is a lifetime achievement that you've spent since he's been 8 years old, working towards
single digits.
Ever since you saw the people you looked up to achieve this, like Grand Slam, like one day I'm going to do this. It's like, Tom Brady wanting to win, X amount of Super Bowls or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, so with this though, it's like, it puts you into golf royalty by accomplishing this. So I'm sure it's been his drive and his obsession for 30 years, something
you could probably
a
put
lifetime
that number on it. Yeah,
and
at least 25.
And so it takes a lifetime to achieve something like this, right?
And he's a relatively young guy too.
Yeah, and there's more, and obviously his career's not over. There's more, but there's other things you could achieve, but it feels like this in golf is the crowning achievement that solidifies. Like he can go on to win other Masters or win another a bunch of other tournaments and stuff, but this is like, all right, this is a goal, right? Do you think, I always, when I see someone achieve something that takes a lifetime, that it's like, oh, okay, this person's been obsessed about this and been so driven. When it's done, it almost feels like they might feel like there's been a death or something where it's like you finally accomplished something you've been working for 30 years.
Are you like telling me it's like when the Ninja Turtles defeat Shredder, then they have no purpose? Is that what you're saying?
It does make
like,
me
are you
wonder
saying that he accomplishes it, he checks it
if
off.
there's a depression after.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Yeah,
that comes along
just like
with
the Olympics,
and like a sense of like no more purpose because you've accomplished this insane lifetime goal. That has been your goal. It has to have been his goal for a long time, or a dream.
Well,
when
he
was
never
a
won
kid.
the Masters, so yes, that was.
He'd won all the other times, but he's been talking about this and stuff like. So almost to the point where I wonder if there's any recovering from that. I know it sounds stupid.
No, I don't think it's stupid at all.
because
It's just something
obviously
that
it's an achievement.
I don't think people think about. But
because none of us can ever relate to it,
But I do think there was a medalist. There's a silver medalist in running that lived here in Baldwin Park a couple of years ago, and then she did an interview for I want to say Channel 6 here in town, the local station, right? And she went on about how you go through when you hyper focus and you pinpoint onto one thing and one thing only, and then you accomplish it. When you come back, it's almost no different than when American GIs would come back from fighting in World War II. And all of that aggression and what they were doing, their purpose completely changed. They went from wartime and all that they knew to coming back home, and then like what were they supposed to do?
The same energy,
which is why they started like biker gangs and this kind of stuff. Yeah, like you do. I think you're only human, right? So if you knee jerk change your focal point, I know you get depressed.
And I know that you could say, okay, well, you're focused on the next tournament or whatever, but you still, though,
no, I don't think you
off
do.
A box.
I don't think you do. This is too big.
It is, but it's like, okay, well, these kind of
I don't think you get fired up for the next one because I think this is too big. I think you get depressed.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this accomplishment that was insanely hard that put you into a group of people that is
one of six, dude.
Insanely rare, and then now you're in it, and it's like, I wonder if you're just like lost for a while after, and you're just like, what
There's
else?
also going to be a strange.
I've been focusing so much on winning this, and now I want, and it's probably not even as good as you imagined.
Well, it probably doesn't feel real.
Yeah. Like you got the green jacket, everybody applauds, and then
also, if I had to guess, the winning the Masters, and this is kind of hard to explain, but him winning the Masters and not winning it meant more than the being one of six. He just needed to check off that Masters.
Yeah.
So ideally, that Masters win is like I think he's probably looking at that first. And then later he'll probably compartmentalize and handle the one of six. I've done the Grand Slam.
Well, he mentioned. I mean, obviously everybody was talking about like, hey,
yeah,
you
it
win
was
this,
the
you win
only
the Grand
thing
Slam.
people were talking about.
Yeah. So it's like and then congratulations to accomplishing that. But I'm like. I always look at people that have accomplished insanely hard things, and I know the dedication they must have had their entire lives to get to this point. And it's like once you achieve it, I wonder what that feels like after. Because you could say the same thing about Super Bowls and stuff like that, but it's not the same thing. We're talking about one of six humans that have ever accomplished something.
Okay.
Like it becomes insanely rare.
Not to go dark, but it's kind of what I do. Has there ever been somebody that accomplished something super positive and insane, and because they accomplished it, their purpose changed, and then they offed themselves?
I don't know, because just to be able to get to that point, it means that I don't know, that you're probably not ever going to, maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe not because of that, but just because of all, and killing yourself is a weird thing.
And what's the sweet spot of, where's the sweet spot within that world? Would it have been better for you enjoying your life as a PGA badass, always searching for the six, or getting the six and then losing your search?
No,
is that what you're questioning? Yeah.
It's
all about enjoyment at the time. So maybe if it's almost like
if he had lost this Masters and then just
kept questing for it,
would his life been better?
I understand what you're saying, and I know that makes me insane too, because people are like, "Oh, you understand Tom?" I'm like, I absolutely do get what he's saying. Yes.
Yeah. Because sometimes when you get something and it's not exactly the way you imagined it,
like my hip replacement.
Yeah.
I got it, but this is not what I imagined, and this is not going the way I wanted. And it does make me want to kill myself.
Well, there it is. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
That was a nice ending. That's funny. Good job, buddy. Is it lunchtime?
Yeah, then we're going to come back at 1 for the...
And that was Monday?
Yes.
Monday 1 and 2. All right, guys. We will be back on Facebook with you guys and Moonjet. And we will see you guys like 10 minutes before 1 to hang out over on Facebook. We'll see you guys in a minute.